How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video for you guys. Real quick video that I just kind of wanted to give you guys my thoughts on iOS 26. And yeah, I have some mixed emotions. I have some mixed feelings about it. It's crazy. Everything about iOS 26 is like hit or miss, in my opinion. This is like the first time I've ever felt this way about like an operating system, a software. It's just been so weird. Such a weird experience. Okay, now for transparency, I'm using an iPhone 12. I've been using an iPhone 12 for about a couple years now and continue to use an iPhone 12. I don't see a reason for me to upgrade to a newer iPhone because I'm not really using an iPhone as my daily driver every day. Like, it's not something that, like, my main sim is in. My main sim is in my Pixel 10. And so I have an iOS device. So if I make videos about iOS and iPhones, I have a perspective of using one to be able to tell you guys rather than just, going off paper specs. So I've been using iOS 26 since developer beta preview was released, and that was some time ago. So I've been on it for quite a while now, and now iOS 26 is fully out, fully available for iPhones, iPhone 11 and up. And I think this is like the last software that iPhone 11 is going to get. So it has its good points, it has its bad points, but there's some bad points that I just can't overlook, and I'm going to share it with you guys. It is what it is. I find it hypocritical when people tell me, like, if I give iPhone a chance, if I give it a shot, I'm going to enjoy it, it's going to be great, you'll be able to use the iPhone for a long time because it's going to be supported, and yada yada yada. But then when I give a negative perspective about the iPhone, then people tend to tell me, well, you got to get the latest iPhone to have the bestest experience ever. You're on an iPhone 12, you're on something obsolete. And it's like, wait a minute, you can't tell me that I could use an older iPhone with the latest iOS software, it's going to be the best experience, and then in the same breath tell me I got to go get the latest one out, which now is the iPhone 17. Like, that just, it does not make sense to me. That's very hypocritical. So for the most part, iOS 26 is pretty decent. It's the visuals of iOS 26 that really bothers me, and then a little bit of jitter and jank that it goes through. And I'm going to go out on a whim and say that has to do with iOS 26, and then, of course, the Apple chip that's in the iPhone 12. Of course, with the A19 Pro and the A19 chip, it's going to have a better experience. A newer processor chip, being able to handle the newest things that Apple throws at it. It makes sense. So with the lagginess and things like that, of course, I'm going to chalk it up to, the chip that's in the iPhone 12 as responsible for it. But for the viewing, for the liquid glass thing, I mean, it was fun. It was a nice novelty. For the most part, it was a nice novelty, but in all reality, using it and trying to using it as a daily driver is just not, it's just not it. That's not the move. It's not it at all whatsoever. I don't care what anyone says. Anyone can argue with me and be like, it's the bestest thing in the world. I'm telling you, for somebody that's like not all about novelties, not all about, like all the newest shiny thing out there, and just being real as someone who's a smartphone enthusiast, there's times where I click the wrong icon because, I mean, just the way that it looks, you can easily tap something else by accident just by looking at it. Like, if I'm on my Pixel, I know the YouTube app, whether it's tinted with the Material 3 Expressive or it's showing its actual logo, I can click the YouTube, no problem at all. I'm not going to make a mistake generally. But with the liquid glass, it's hard to see things. It really is. It's really, really hard to see things at times. And you know what? I'm an older guy, yes. My eyesight's depleting, yes. I wear prescription glasses, yes. Of course, obviously, I need them to see. So other people could be like, well, I could see it very well. Well, great. That's great for you, especially if you're like somebody that's under 25 telling me you can see it just fine. Of course, your eyes are pretty good, okay? Come get to my age of 43, then come fuck with me on that, and I'll tell you how it is then. It's supposed to be simple. It's supposed to be easy to use. Simplicity is supposed to be the thing. And with iOS 26, it's not the thing. Okay, it's nice as a novelty thing. It's nice, as to say, oh, this looks pretty cool. Yeah, of course it looks cool. Of course it does, but it's not practical. It's not practical for daily use for anybody. And I think that's like the whole goal of smartphones, right? Is to be, practically usable for anybody, any age. Okay, iPhones don't come with the, rated T for teens, rated A for adults, and then rated E for everyone. Okay, it doesn't come with a rating, so I expect something like iOS 26 to be able to be maneuverable by somebody even of my caliber with bad eyesight and everything like that. It's not, and I'm not the only one saying that. There are plenty of other people who are saying that are up there in age, that are saying that their eyesight is really bad and that iOS 26 liquid glass is not good. So at least iOS 26 has a way to alleviate this problem, and that's either turning on the dark mode apps, or just turning on the tinted apps, or just going with the regular light mode apps, which shows the actual colors of the logos of the apps and everything like that. As far as, like I said, the jank and everything like that could be chalked up to the chip. For sure, definitely could be chalked up to the chip. But I mean, at the end of the day, I thought this thing was supposed to be simple, easy to use, and iPhones are supposed to be powerful. So what is everyone's excuse for this one?